Let's bring up the intraday chart of Punj Lloyd. Since yesterday, there have been a lot of news developments around the stock. So we decided to interview the chairman, Atul Punj. Good afternoon, Mr. Punj. Thanks so much for joining us here on ET Now. This is Nayan Tara. Let me first begin by asking you about ICICI Bank dragging Punj Lloyd to the NCLT, declaring insolvency. We understand the court has admitted that petition, even as Punj Lloyd has come out with a statement saying that 90% of the lenders are not in favor of that. For example, SBI is not in favor of ICICI's action. Can you throw some light on this? What exactly is going on?
Yeah, sure. It's not a long story. I mean, as everybody knows, we've been under a restructuring mechanism for a while now. And we were all set to go, given the fact that 92% of the lenders are in support of the restructuring plan. And both the two credit rating agencies have given the required rating to the plan. And the timing of this kind of escapes me, and the logic of it completely is alien to me. So the matter is sub judice. I mean, it's a court date that has been given now, the 24th of July. So we have to either try to resolve our issues with ICICI prior to that, which we expect to happen, or we see what happens on the 24th of July.
So you're saying ICICI Bank dragging you to NCLT is an alien concept. It defies logic because a resolution plan has been under the works. Is it also correct, and would you know about it, if ICICI Bank has also initiated a forensic audit against Punj Lloyd? Is that correct, and why are they feeling the need to do so?
Yeah, not to the best of our knowledge. As part of the restructuring proposal, you have to understand that every company has to go through a forensic audit, which has already been carried out by the SBI-appointed auditors. So that is already behind us. Okay, there has been a couple of iterations on that, which has now been resolved to the satisfaction of almost all the lenders, bar ICICI. So we don't have any other indication of this additional forensic audit. It was reported by Economic Times, but we have no news of it.
So, Mr. Punj, you're talking about you're talking about a resolution plan, which your statement to the stock exchanges says 90% of the lenders are in favor of, beginning with beginning with SBI. Can you throw some color on this resolution plan? What exactly is it that is on the negotiating table with the lenders, and why do you think it is that ICICI is not happy with it? For example, is it not happy with what it stands to gain and recover from this resolution plan?
No, I think I don't want to get into the fine print till the resolution plan is finally adopted. So that's something that will become a matter of public record the moment it happens. But in terms of the logic of ICICI's action, as I said earlier, the fact that two rating agencies have certified it, 92% of the lenders are on board. They authorized SBI to counter the ICICI suit in court. I mean, it's out there in the open record, so there's no secrets about this.
Okay, Mr. Punj, let's just move away from this. Talk to your shareholders. You're a listed entity. It's an active stock as well. What is the road ahead looking like for Punj Lloyd? We're talking at the start of the financial year. What is your debt at? Do you have enough projects to keep, everybody busy? Are you looking at new orders? What's going on at Punj Lloyd? Talk to your shareholders. What can we expect in the new financial year?
Well, I think ironically, we were just hoping for this restructuring to be behind us, because in my experience, we've never had such a robust slate of opportunities that have presented itself. Our current order backlog is close to 10,000 crores, so we're healthy for the next 2.5 years, quite clearly. But the main thing is now that we can ramp up our order book quite dramatically and quite quickly, simply because of the slew of opportunities that have presented themselves both in India and overseas. So it's something that we just want to get behind us as quickly as possible so we can focus on the task at hand, which is doing EPC, which is what we do best. So I think it's a bit of a bit frustrating from our point of view that this development did happen, because it delays things by, I guess, another couple of weeks. But at the same time, we're confident we will get it done. Otherwise, 92% of the lending community would not have stood behind us and saying they believe in what we do, what we're saying, they believe in the restructuring plan, and the kind of detail that all lenders go into prior to making this commitment is quite immense. whether it's forensic audit, whether it's technical economic viability that is carried out by third parties. There's a whole process that is followed. And that process, unfortunately, was pretty much good to go on the 14th of February, which is when our meeting was being scheduled. But then the 12th of February, the RBI circular came out asking for the additional rating requirement, which is what delayed the whole proposal to this time. But now we're good to go, and we're just hoping that we get a resolution with ICICI as quickly as possible. So we can move on, and as I said earlier, get on with the task at hand.
So, Mr. Punj, you said, my final question to you, you've said that ICICI Bank's action escapes logic. 92% of the lenders are backing the resolution, asking SBI to counter ICICI. Your order book is at over 10,000 crore rupees. So against all of this, how are you going to execute your project? Is there a fear that, how will the funds be put together to execute what you're calling to be a healthy pipeline of orders? And I'm just going to ask you straight up, do you think that maybe your corporate rivals or vested interests are acting against Punj Lloyd? Could that be the reason why you suddenly have this development to take care of?
Well, frankly, you can't rule anything out, but I wouldn't want to go so far as to accuse anybody in particular. But it's just a hand that we're dealt with, and we'll deal with it in the best way that we can. And I'm quite confident that we'll see this behind us, and the company will be back to its hard growth path. The projects will get implemented. State Bank of India has really been a very, very strong supporter of us. Our accounts basically have been run through them for the last 2.5 years, which is where they've got the level of comfort from. So we're quite confident that all the projects that we have on hand will definitely go through. And the moment the restructuring gets done, which has to be get done by the end of August, we'll be back in play.
Mr. Punj, hi, it's Karunya as well joining in the conversation. Just before we let you go, if you could tell us the total debt that is on the books right now at this point of time.
Well, the total debt is about, the cash debt is about 6,500 odd crores. And there's a non-fund line that is required for all EPC companies, which is part of our advance payment guarantees and performance guarantees, which is about the same amount.
All right, Mr. Punj, we'll let you go on that note. Thanks so much for taking time out and giving us a sense of what exactly is it that is going on as far as the lenders are concerned and the plan ahead for Punj Lloyd. With